Impale.
He was impaled on a spear.
Devotion.
What must a child do to earn this eternal devotion of yours?
Confer.
I'd like to confer with my client now. Thank you.
Deck.
Then the captain went on deck to talk to the crew.
Lean.
He leaned across the table.
Irrevocable.
He tells his generals, "My decision is irrevocable."
Tornado.
A tornado outside Wichita killed 2 and injured 9 last night.
Corollary.
A corollary issue to artificial intelligence is the rise of robotics.
Sluggard.
The voice of the sluggard, it seems, is only going to grow louder.
Burgeon.
As mischief has become easier, the hacker crowd has burgeoned and mutated.
Poll.
Polls show that 80% of people do not trust the government.
Endowment.
Harvard is offering me a $10 million endowment.
Circuitry.
He calls the wiring in the brain circuitry.
Roost.
The male stays behind to guard the roost.
Matriarch.
In this photograph, Donna was in her mid-70s, a vigorous, healthy woman, the matriarch of a large clan.
Inflation.
Inflation is usually more like 2 to 4%.
Bashful.
Don't be bashful about telling people how you feel.
Spew.
Last December it began spewing ash and gas, with smoke rising more than 1 kilometre into the sky.
Grammar.
And you should also remember to check your spelling and grammar.
Troublesome.
For a time, the misunderstandings could be troublesome.
Predestined.
Contradictory.
You know what? Reality and love are almost contradictory for me.
Menagerie.
Deep in the southern United States lies a strange menagerie.
Contemptuous.
Zabini merely looked contemptuous.
Sensor.
My sensor is detecting signs of life.
Accent.
I help you learn English and learn British accents.
Chancy.
Take our chance, that sounds chancy.
You know,
Preempt.
We have to find a way to prevent, to preempt, to act ahead of these kinds of obscenities.
Grocery.
I work in a grocery store. Vigilant.
We must be vigilant if we hope to survive the journey.
Indiscernible.
Inventory.
We need an inventory of supplies.
Counterargument.
Meyer offers a strong counterargument to these claims.
Attentive.
He's listening, right, though? He seems attentive.
Clientele.
They're a reputable firm with a very large private clientele base.
Colonialism.
Oh, but colonialism is so last century.
Heredity.
In the late 1800s, no one really understood how heredity worked.
Noteworthy.
But the details were more noteworthy.
Estrangement.
It was the 3rd day of the estrangement.
Terminology.
It's official police terminology.
Crisscross.
If there are no convenient trees nearby, you can crisscross your fingers to get the same effect.
Deign.
Ergo, you fake a handicap rather than deign to have a conversation with a fellow human being.
Unforgivable.
Her betrayal was unforgivable.
Efface.
In less than a month, my image will be effaced from her heart.
Condemnatory.
I have not yet said anything condemnatory of Mr. Rochester's project of marrying for interest and connections.
Particularity.
They'll reproduce faster and gradually supplant those that don't have the particularity.
Optician.
Of course, I'd intended to go the round of the London opticians.
Condole.
She walked here on Wednesday morning to condole with us and offered her services, or any of her daughters, if they should be of use to us.
Gentry.
For the first time, it wasn't only the gentry who could buy exotic goods.
Subterranean.
Beneath this arid landscape lies a subterranean wonderland.
Script.
The script is amazing. I want to make this movie.
Expedient.
I bethought myself of an expedient.
Ashen.
Oh, she's ashen.
Fraud.
6 months ago, you were arrested for tax fraud, weren't you, Mr. DeGeorge?
Torque.
Honey, that's a torque wrench, not a torque screwdriver.
Empiric.
Mannerism.
You're just like him. Your hair, your mannerisms.
Adaptable.
But humans are amazingly smart and incredibly adaptable.
Metal.
So this episode is really going to test your, metal.
Thorny.
Perhaps I can divine a solution to this thorny problem.
Dilute.
You can dilute the strength of a strong fruit juice by adding water to it.
Sot.
He lost the respect of all, went on from bad to worse, and has long been a perfect sot.
Irksome.
Sorry, I had a very irksome encounter myself today.
Intrinsic.
I pursue science for the intrinsic joy of discovery.
Beverage.
Here is a hot beverage to comfort you.
Swampland.
This is the swampland of Dagobah.
Escort.
I'll have the gods escort her out if necessary.
Beam.
A beam of light could travel around the Earth 7 times in 1 second.
Centralize.
Centralize is a verb, which means that you put things in one place.
Eloquence.
And merely pointing out the eloquence with which he expressed himself.
Contrition.
Well, he conveyed his contrition.
Canny.
He is a canny strategist and master speechmaker.
Leech.
It's full of leeches, waiting for a blood donor.
Propitiate.
Dross.
And better. So much better as pure ore is than foul dross.
Dictum.
The dictum in writing classes used to be, write what you know.
Defecate.
Quolls usually defecate in more conspicuous areas to mark their territory.
Acrimony.
Sometimes ordering her from the room, and always treating her with coldness and acrimony.
Duplication.
Gene duplication, when a regular gene is copied twice, is one of those errors.
Olfactory.
The olfactory sense is the strongest memory trigger.
Crackle.
The fire crackled and popped in the grate beside them.
Platitudinous.
Shallow feelings and platitudinous remarks.
Magnificence.
I hear it's going to be a party of special magnificence.
Dissimulate.
They also spend plenty of time trying to dissimulate.
Fragility.
The fragility of crystal is not a weakness, but a fineness.
Overdue.
Come, Colonel Dax, don't overdo the surprise.
Bureaucracy.
You know how those corporations work. It's layers of bureaucracy.
Condescension.
I've had enough of your condescension.
Inexact.
You lost already?
Your map is inexact.
Interpose.
Or she, interposed Hermione.
Unskilled.
The supply of unskilled labour almost invariably exceeds the demand.
Prohibitive.
Well, they think it's too expensive. They think it's economically prohibitive.
Tardy.
Don't be too early this time. It's as rude as being tardy.
Refrain.
And anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain.
Stretch.
So is the neck hole all stretched out?
Bent.
Keep your knees bent a little.
Shrimp.
Now fry the shrimps until they turn bright yellow.
Poverty.
Poverty is falling. Incomes are rising.
Peasant.
Even peasants in the fields went hungry.
Whale.
Beach netting, or meshing, involves setting large nets parallel to the shore. This means that the nets on New South Wales beaches are set on one day and then lifted and taken out to sea on the next day.